If your cat suddenly starts avoiding you, don't brush it off. Maybe they stop sleeping beside you. Maybe they leave the room when you walk in. Maybe they hide under the bed, turn away from your hand, or stare at you from a distance, like you've become someone they no longer recognize. Most owners take it personally. They think, my cat is mad at me. But with cats, distance is rarely random. When a cat suddenly avoids you, they're not just being cold. They may be trying to tell you something they can't say out loud. And if you misunderstand that message, you might accidentally make the distance even worse. So today, we're going to break down what it really means when your cat suddenly pulls away, why it happens, and what you should never do if you want them to trust you again. And don't skip the last one.
Because there's one reaction most owners have in this moment that feels loving, but to your cat, it can feel like pressure, danger, and betrayal all at once. Let's start with the first thing most people get wrong. 1. Avoidance doesn't always mean rejection. When your cat avoids you, it feels personal. You reach down to pet them, and they move away. You call their name, and they don't come. You sit beside them, and they get up and leave. And suddenly, your mind starts creating stories. Maybe they don't love me anymore. Maybe I did something wrong. Maybe they're angry. But here's what most people don't understand. Cats don't use distance the way humans do. For us, pulling away can look like punishment. For cats, pulling away is often regulation. It's how they calm their nervous system. It's how they create safety. It's how they process something that feels too much, too sudden, too loud, too unfamiliar, or too unpredictable.
Your cat is not always saying, I don't want you. Sometimes they're saying, I need space before I can feel safe again. And that difference matters. Because if you see avoidance as rejection, you might chase them. You might follow them from room to room. You might pick them up to prove everything is okay. But if your cat is already overwhelmed, that only confirms the thing they're worried about, that their space is not being respected. So before you assume your cat has stopped loving you, slow down. Their distance may not be the end of the bond. It may be their way of protecting it. 2. Sudden avoidance can be a pain signal. This is the part every cat owner needs to take seriously. If your cat has always been affectionate, always slept near you, always greeted you, always leaned into your hand, and then suddenly they avoid touch, hide more, or keep their distance, don't ignore it. Cats are masters at hiding discomfort. In the wild, looking weak can make an animal vulnerable. So even domestic cats still carry that ancient instinct. When something hurts, many cats don't cry out. They don't come to you and explain what's wrong. They simply disappear. They choose quiet corners. They avoid being picked up. They stop jumping onto the bed. They move slower. They flinch when touched in certain places. And sometimes the only sign you notice is this. They don't want to be close anymore. Not because they don't love you, but because closeness might hurt. A cat with dental pain may avoid face contact. A cat with joint discomfort may stop climbing into your lap. A cat with stomach issues may hide after eating. An older cat may avoid the bed because jumping up has become harder than it used to be. And this is where many owners miss the message. They focus on the emotional part. My cat is acting distant.
but the body might be speaking first. So if the change is sudden, strong, or comes with other signs like eating less, hiding more, moving differently, using the litter box differently, or becoming unusually quiet, it's worth paying attention. Your cat may not be avoiding you. They may be avoiding pain.
And because they trust you, your job is not to force closeness. It's to notice the change early enough to help. 3. Something in their territory may have changed. Cats don't just live in your home. They map it. Every corner has meaning. Every smell tells a story. Every doorway, blanket, chair, and sleeping spot belongs to an invisible system your cat uses to feel safe. So when something changes, your cat notices. A new person in the home, a new pet, a moved sofa, a different detergent, a new air freshener, guests staying over, a loud repair outside, even a change in your schedule. To you, it might seem small. To your cat, it can feel like the world has been rearranged overnight. And when cats feel their territory has changed, they often become cautious. They may avoid the room where the change happened. They may avoid you if you smell like the new environment. They may hide until they understand whether the new thing is safe. This is not drama. This is survival logic. Your cat is asking one question over and over. Is my world still predictable? Because predictability is safety.
A cat that suddenly avoids you after a move, after guests, after a new animal, or after changes in routine may not be upset with you directly. They may be trying to rebuild their sense of control. And here's the mistake owners make. They try to cheer the cat up by forcing attention. But your cat doesn't need more stimulation. They need stability. Same feeding time, same quiet voice, same safe spots, same gentle routine. The more predictable you become, the faster your cat can relax. Because for a nervous cat, love is not always cuddling. Sometimes love is making the world feel normal again. 4. You may smell different to them. This one sounds strange to humans, but to cats it's huge. Your cat recognizes you partly by scent. Your clothes, your skin, your hair, your hands, your room, your bed, all of it carries information. To your cat, your smell is part of who you are. So when you come home smelling different, your cat may react differently. Maybe you visited another animal. Maybe you came back from the vet clinic.
Maybe you used a new perfume. Maybe you changed your shampoo. Maybe you were around smoke, food, chemicals, or another person's home. You walk through the door thinking nothing has changed, but your cat smells an entire story on you. And sometimes that story makes them cautious. This is why some cats sniff intensely when you return home. This is why some cats avoid your hands after you pet another animal. This is why a cat may suddenly act distant after you come back from somewhere unfamiliar. They're not being jealous in the human sense. They're investigating. They're asking, who have you been near? What is that smell? Is it safe? And if the scent is too strong or too unfamiliar, they may create distance until they can understand it. This is also why you should never force contact when your cat is sniffing you cautiously. Let them gather information. Let them approach in their own time. Offer your hand, but don't push it towards their face. Sit near them, but don't corner them.
Speak softly, but don't demand a response. Because in that moment, your cat isn't ignoring you. They're updating their map of you. And once you smell like home again, many cats slowly come back on their own.
5. They may be reacting to your energy. Cats are extremely sensitive to patterns. They notice how you walk, how you breathe, how you open doors, how your voice sounds when you're calm, and how it changes when you're stressed. So if your cat suddenly avoids you, it may not be because of one dramatic event. It may be because you feel different. Maybe you've been tense. Maybe you've been rushing around. Maybe your voice has been sharper. Maybe you've been arguing with someone. Maybe you've been moving through the house with heavy energy without realizing it. Your cat doesn't understand your work stress. They don't understand your messages, your deadlines, your problems, or your private thoughts. But they do understand signals, fast movements, loud tones, sudden gestures, restless energy, less patience, more pressure. And if those signals change, your cat may step back. Not because they blame you, because they don't know what version of you they're going to get. This is why some cats avoid their owners during stressful weeks. The owner thinks, my cat is acting weird. But the cat may be thinking, my human feels unpredictable.
And for cats, unpredictability creates distance. So if your cat has started avoiding you, ask yourself something honestly. Have I been different lately? Have I been louder? More rushed? More frustrated? Less gentle? Because sometimes the fastest way to bring your cat closer is not to call them. It's to regulate yourself first. Sit down. Lower your voice. Move slower.
Let your cat see that your presence is safe again. A calm human is easier for a cat to trust. 6. They may remember something you forgot. Cats connect places, sounds, and people with emotional experiences. And sometimes the thing that changed your cat's behavior is something you barely noticed. Maybe you accidentally stepped on their tail. Maybe you picked them up when they didn't want it. Maybe you gave them medicine. Maybe you raised your voice near them. Maybe they got startled while sitting next to you. Maybe something loud happened in the room where they used to relax with you. To you, it was a small moment. To your cat, it may have become a warning sign. Cats don't always think in long explanations. They think in associations. This room scared me. That hand grabbed me.
That sound happened near that person. That place no longer feels safe. And once that association forms, avoidance can begin. This is why a cat may suddenly avoid your lap after being picked up too many times, or avoid the bedroom after a loud noise, or avoid your hand after medicine, or avoid you after a stressful vet trip, even though you were only trying to help. This doesn't mean the relationship is broken, but it does mean trust needs to be rebuilt carefully. Not with big gestures, with small, safe repetitions. You sit nearby and nothing bad happens. You offer a treat and don't reach. You walk past them and don't grab. You speak softly and don't force.
again and again. You show them. You are allowed to choose.
That choice is what rebuilds trust. Because for cats, love without control feels safe. Love with pressure feels like a trap. Number 7. The way you respond can either heal the distance or make it worse. This is the part most owners get wrong. When a cat avoids them, they panic. They follow the cat. They call their name over and over. They reach under the bed. They pull them out. They pick them up. They hold them tighter. They say, "Why are you acting like this? I'm just trying to love you." And from a human perspective, that makes sense. When someone pulls away, we want to close the gap.
But to a cat, being chased when they already need space feels threatening. Even if your intention is love. Especially if your intention is love. Because your cat doesn't judge your intention first. They judge the experience. Can I leave? Can I say no? Can I control the distance? Am I safe if I don't want touch right now? If the answer is no, avoidance gets worse. So what should you do instead? Become easy to approach, not impossible to escape. Sit on the floor nearby, but not directly in front of them. Turn your body slightly sideways. Soften your eyes. Blink slowly. Speak less. Move slowly. Offer something positive, like a treat or a favorite toy. Then let them decide. Don't reach first. Don't grab. Don't block their exit. Don't turn reconnection into a test. The goal is not to make your cat come to you. The goal is to make your presence feel safe enough that they want to. And when they finally do approach, don't celebrate too hard. Don't scoop them up. Don't overwhelm them with affection. Let the first step be small. A sniff, a glance, a slow blink, sitting in the same room. That is progress. That is trust returning quietly. And here's the truth most owners need to hear. When your cat avoids you, they are not always asking you to come closer. Sometimes they are asking you to become safer from a distance. And if you can respect that, you teach them something powerful. That your love doesn't disappear when they need space. That your hands don't chase. That your voice doesn't pressure. That your presence doesn't trap them. And slowly, the cat who avoided you may begin to choose you again. Not because you forced them back, but because you gave them a reason to trust the path back to you. So, if your cat suddenly avoids you, don't ignore it. Watch. Listen. Look for pain. Look for stress. Look for changes in their world. Look for changes in yourself. Because avoidance is not always attitude. Sometimes it's fear. Sometimes it's discomfort. Sometimes it's confusion. And sometimes it's the only way your cat knows how to say, something doesn't feel safe right now. And when you understand that message, everything changes. Because the goal was never to make your cat stay close every second. The goal
is to become the kind of human they feel safe coming back to. If this helped you understand your cat on a deeper level, hit like and subscribe to Feline Mind, because the better you understand their silence, the stronger your bond becomes.